and then it's gonna lag out again. I don't know if I can use this. Where's the damn sound? Oh, all the way up. Stop muting. Okay. Ooh. Just woke up. Yeah, I'm a dual host here. Just woke up. Yeah, I'm a dual host here. So now I'm gonna have to, oh my gosh, bruh. Okay, finally. Can you guys tell me, can you guys hear me fine? Or do I like sound like crap? No, oh my gosh. Am I like extremely laggy too? Or is that just on my end? You guys let me know if you guys can hear me, and if the sound quality, and if like the actual, it's gonna be a bit laggy because I'm using like my old iPad, because like I got my phone here for the sources. But now let's try to host this. Oh, don't crash on me. Don't crash on me. Where is Jotaro Dean? Let's see. Oops, I'm actually inviting random people. So random people might join. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on Jotaro Dean to defend his dean. Come on here and defend his dean. So the topic is Islam and child marriage. Islamic child marriage. And why is that halal? Why is prepubescent marriage and consummation halal? Let's see from these halal hooligans what they gotta say. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for Jotaro Dean right here to get on the live, and we'll debate. I got tons of sources on this, bro. You don't really want to see? Oops. So it's the Islamic sources. That's like 266, and that's just 266 that I screenshotted and like wrote commentary on. We got hadiths, fatwas from founding scholars like Safi. We got a bunch of stuff. Also got refutations on Bukhari 476. I don't think we're doing Dawood 4933. If you guys know, those are the hadiths everyone loves to appeal to. I like cracked the crap out of my phone here. Like, it's actually horrible. I was at work and then it fell out of my pocket, splat right on the ground. Splat. Hopefully it's fine if I'm idling here in my whip. Yeah, so the two hadiths that prove Aisha hit puberty are mistranslations. I can quickly go over them. Might as well go over. I'll go over it while we wait for Jotaro. I hate calling people anime names. So first I'll go over Dawood. So this is the Arabic of Sunnah Abu Dawood. It's probably all backwards. So it's actually forwards because Arabic people speak backwards. So that's the word used. It's tanafasat. Tanafasat. Yeah, he should be joining. He should be joining. Jotaro should be joining. We're just waiting on him. I'm just going to go over Dawood 493 as we wait. So yeah, so the word in the Arabic hadith that's used is tanafasat. The word for menstruation, hold up. This is the word for menstruation. It looks similar, but it's nafasit. So it's right there. It looks very similar to this. But the difference between tanafasat and tanafasid is the letters used. Because in Arabic, so here is the Arabic dictionary, like the alphabet. So in the beginning, tanafasat, they both have the ta sound, right? But it's the actual ending, the fasad or sat. So when it's tanafasad, that's talking about like bleeding or menstruation. But tanafasat is the feminine of, oh my, where is it? I'm trying to find the screenshot. Yeah, so nafast is the word that means breathe. Is the word that means bleed or menstruation. And the feminine of that word is nafasatat. They add the tat to get menstruation. So the word used in the hadith is tanafasat. Is this one, tanafasat. So tanafasat is the feminine of nafasat, which means to breathe. And in the hadith, this is made even clearer. This is made even clearer in Sunnah Abu Dawud. Let me pull up the other translation, because other translations like the Ibn Kathir translation and another Islamic scholar, they translate it as, okay, yeah, so I'll just wait for Jotaro Dean, but I'll continue going through this. No, the Lisan al-Arab doesn't say that means menstruation. It says that nafasit means menstruation. Nafasit, so when people cite, so this is what you got to remember. When people cite al-Arab, that dictionary, the dictionary is talking about nafasit. Nafasit. And the feminine of nafasit isn't tanafasat. That's not the feminine. The feminine of nafasit, which means menstruated, is nafasitided, or something. Like, I'll show you again. Because Muslims, they try to rat with that. So the dictionary that Muslims send to prove that it means menstruated isn't talking about tanafasat. It's not talking about the masculine of tanafasat. I'll pull it up again just to really show you. Yeah, so the feminine form of nafasat is the Arabic nafasatat. It's backwards, but you can flip it, screenshot it and flip it. So the feminine of that's the word in the Al-Arab. That's the word in Al-Arab. Nafasat. The Arabic is nafasatat. So they add the at the end to make it feminine. Because in Arabic, there's two ways to make a word feminine: to add a ta, or to add a ta, like a tanafasat. Add the ta at the beginning, or you can add an at, like an at at the end. And the at sound, because again, they don't use the same alphabet as us. Clearly, they use like scribbles. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they use scribbles. It's like cursive Hebrew. You add, what would you add? You add the T. No, you add the A and the T. And you actually see that in the Al-Arab. Why do I have a rag on my head? Because my hair's just like nappy. I just woke up. My hair's nappy. I didn't wash it yet. Because it's like, it's not even 7 a.m. yet. And I'm going to debate this Muhammadan. So, I just put this on my head. And I'm about to go to work like in a couple hours, and I wear this at work to protect the scalp. Yeah, so Sunnah Abu Dawood, that says, also like just the context of the hadith. To say that Abu Dawood is saying menstruated, it's like, yeah, I'm just live in my car. Don't want to disturb the family with child marriage at 7 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, I'll look at the hadith here. Maybe I'm slow. I just got so many screenshots. So this is the hadith. This is who it's translated by. So the hadith says that the messenger of Allah married me when I was 7 or 6 years old, and when I came to Al-Madinah, some women said, Rama came to me when I was on a swing and took me and prepared me and adorned me. Then I was brought to the messenger of Allah, and he consummated the marriage with me when I was 9 years old. She made me stand at the door, and I started to breathe deeply. So here, Aisha says in the Arabic, Fakulti he he. She was brought to the door, and she says, Fakulti he he. This translator translates it to as I breathed. And then, so when Abu Dawood is commenting on the fakulti he, why would he be saying, oh, this means she menstruated? Abu Dawood either has schizophrenia or he meant breathed. So even if that word in the hadith could mean menstruated, we steel man that it could mean menstruated, we also have to prove that it can mean breathed, and that in the least ad hoc conclusion to draw from translating this hadith would be that Abu Dawood is commenting on her breathing, not her bleeding, as there is nothing that indicates menstruation in the hadith, but there is something that that indicates a passing of breath through the lungs, which is what tanafasat means. I got someone else to join. Okay, there we go. Which is what tanafasat means. Hello. Hello. Do you hear me? Everything good? Do you hear me? Everything good?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm in my yeah, I can hear you. I'm in my car right now, so if it's windy and you can't hear anything, I can't
No,
do
it's
anything
fine.
about it.
I'm in my car too, so this will just be a debate in the
No,
whips.
I'm in the open.
Oh, you
Anyways,
outside? No, yeah, it's fine. I can still hear you good. I can still hear you good.
okay. We were talking about 10
Okay,
facets, right?
so
The hadith in Abi Dawood.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know why my laptop is bugging right now. Everything else seems to be loading apart from what I need to be loading. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me try. Give me a second. Camera. Okay. Can you give me the big screen real quick? I am live, like dyslexic.
Yeah.
Okay. This was supposed to show Lisan al-Arab. This is volume 6, page 238 to
Yeah,
239.
I got that exact page. I got that exact page. That's not speaking about tanafasat. That's speaking about nafasit.
Yeah, it's a
Nafasit.
ta'ru. It's a ta'ru, so it applies it to the woman. And even then, I have it normally. This is Lane's lexicon. Yeah. Brute. Non-fasin, entry 1, significant C2. Also, both these verbs or the latter.
Yeah, that's not the
nafasat
word used in the hadith. That's not the word used in the hadith. That's missing a
Yeah,
letter.
but the whole
That's
point
missing
is
the ta.
the ta'ru. Yeah, the ta'ru. Tanfasat is for it's at the ta'ru. Tanfasat, it will be for Aisha. It relates to Aisha because it's a ta'ru.
I'll steelman that. I'll steelman that right now. That this word can be menstruated. I've already demonstrated that it can also mean breathed, as the feminine of nafasad is tanafasad, which is used in the hadith. The feminine of breathed is used in the hadith, and the least ad hoc conclusion to come to would be that this hadith, Abu Dawood is saying she breathed, as there is nothing that indicates menstruation. There's nothing that indicates menstruation except the fact that this word can be translated as that. So to make a proper exegesis of the text, we should look at what the text is speaking about to see what we are translating it to. Just like how in English, when you translate synonyms, when you translate synonyms into different languages, you look at the context that is used to see what synonym is being used. So in this hadith, would it be most likely to be speaking about menstruation or her breathing, as the commentary is on Aisha saying fakulti he, which is basically to indicate her breathing. So does Abu Dawood, who's commenting on that exact noise that is made, he's commenting on fakulti he, why would he be speaking about menstruation?
I mean, grammatically it makes no sense, because even in Lisan al-Arab it says that it said for women, and Thalab said nafasat experience, and those who are mothers, pregnant, and menstruating.
Yeah, right? that's not an exegesis.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving you the linguistic properties of it. That's what I'm trying to say. But we can skip through that. I don't mind skipping through that.
Yeah, we can just skip this hadith. We can go right into child marriage. I just have a couple questions just to gauge the debate, gauge the topic here. Okay. So would you say you can be non-balai, so prepubescent? Because beluga or balai, that's puberty, correct?
I think, can we first go over what puberty is in Islam? I think that's important first.
Yeah, we can go over that.
Okay, so this is Hukam al-Nisa. Al-Hukam al-Nisa by Ibn al-Jawzi, who's Hanbali. It's the page for reference. And translation is, the boy is proven by the puberty of the boy is proven by one of three things: a wet dream, or the completion of 5 days, 10 years, or growth of corset around the, A woman's right is proven by one of 5 things. 3 were mentioned, and the others are menstruation and pregnancy, right? So Hanbali says that puberty in Islam is defined by menstruation. This is, and I'll go over the Hanafi madhab, Islam Q&A. I'll send everything over when I need to. So it says the signs of puberty for a boy are wet dream, ejaculation. If the boy makes a girl pregnant, and the sign for puberty for a girl is periods, wet dream, and if she falls pregnant, Mukhtaras al-Qudri, page 79. If any of the signs are not found, then a boy or girl at the age of 15 will be automatically considered as having reached
I'd agree with this. It's signs of puberty, basically, like menstruation, wet dreams for boys. I've read a lot of the same sources on it, so I don't have an objections with what puberty is.
So that's fine. So when we say someone is prepubescent, for women, we mean that she is someone who hasn't menstruated yet, right?
Yeah.
So, and you have menstruation is the 4th Tana stage, right? You have the 3 stages before that, right? You wouldn't disagree on that, right?
Well, menstruation, that still marks when you're fertile. So you're pre-fertile, prepubescent. That's still, because the Tanner stages, entering a Tanner stage doesn't mean that you're pubescent.
No, but the point is, it's the puberty starts at the first Tana stage. We're not talking about really fertility here. We're just talking about puberty in general.
I'm going to drop the Western science development, and I'll argue from Islamic definition. So Islamically, you can marry and consummate a marriage with a prepubescent girl Islamically. The Islamic standard of puberty, they are prepubescent.
Yes. Islamically, yes, but biologically, they wouldn't be prepubescent, right?
Okay, but like biologically, that doesn't really matter to me, because I can still pull up multiple sources from the same sources that you're citing to get the Tanner stages that say that all this stuff is harmful until after puberty, especially before menstruation, because before menarche, your hips are not wide enough to bear children or to properly give birth. So it threatens the life of the mother, the prepubescent child bride, and also the baby that is coming out of the womb. So that's straight up wrong in my view.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think when we're saying that this is possible, we're not saying it's going to happen normally. We're not saying that this is going to be something normal where someone who hasn't menstruated has reached physical maturity. I think even in the case of Aisha, I think I disagree with Faris on this, that it was common back then, it was possible back then. I think there were cases. I think I'll try to bring those up later, but I think it's going to be unlikely then, and it's going to be unlikely now. Hold on, let's see if I can find that reference real quick. Just give me a second. So yeah, we're not saying that this is going to be something that is common, and we're not saying it's going to be common then and common now. But we're saying that if it happens, if it's possible for her to be physically mature before she's reached menstruation, then it will be likely for her to consummate the marriage. Actually, can you give me the big screen again? Sorry.
So, yeah, here. I'll just leave you with the big thing. But so would you say that a 9-year-old can be mature? A 9-year-old can be mature, but not pubescent. Can like someone as young as 9 or 10 be that?
Islamically, yes. I think it's very unlikely. We're not saying it's going to be normal, but yeah. Why has my thing just bugged out? What is going on?
So yeah, you kind of answered my other question already about if that, like, would that be possible today or just very unlikely today?
Very unlikely today. I think with that example I gave in our last debate on this, I think it would be most likely 65 for today would probably be referring to those who, like 15, 16, 17, haven't menstruated. Logically speaking, that would be the most likely as to how it would apply in generally and today. I don't think it will be likely today, and I think it will be unlikely. Okay, wait. Okay, now it's not bugging out. Anyways, this is translated version of Sharnawi, volume 9, page 200. Okay, I know my hand is not steady. My hands are freezing.
You're good.
But that's what it says? Al-Dawudi said Aisha was maturing well. Oh my God. Basically, it says Aisha was maturing well. Aisha was maturing well at the time the marriage was consummated. Now, I think there is differences in translations because I've seen different translations. I'll pull those up.
Yeah, but what does Nawawi mean by maturing there? He doesn't mean puberty. Nawawi doesn't mean puberty. He just means that she was big enough to not break.
Because some translations literally have it as Aisha's body had matured or Aisha had reached physical maturity.
Yeah, but what is that? What is that physical maturity? Because like what I would think of physical maturity, I would think of big wide hips or like wider hips. Because even a skinny, fully grown woman has wider hips than obviously a prepubescent girl. But so like, what is this physical maturity that Nawawi speaks about?
Like it's I forgot the reference for it, but basically it's hold on, where is it? Oh yeah, yeah. So this is Kitab al-Ruhani. If you can see that, Kitab al-Ruhani Shafi, volume 13, page 11. One of the conditions for intercourse in a valid marriage is that the man achieves perfection in puberty, reason, and freedom. If he has intercourse while he is healthy, he has intercourse with someone like him in a valid marriage and then reaches puberty, he does not become married until he has intercourse after puberty. Likewise, if he has intercourse while he is insane, he does not become married until he has intercourse after he had reached puberty. Likewise, the woman who has sexual intercourse does not become married until she is mature, sane, and free, and this is the apparent meanings of the words of Al-Shafi. So they're saying is
mature. And Al-Safi says that a girl can be prepubescent and mature. Al-Safi says, I'll try to cite it quick. Al-Safi says in relation to Aisha, he says that Aisha was prepubescent at both marriage contract and the wedding, which is the consummation. And that was before she had control over herself. So if this is according to Safi, if that source is according to the opinion of Safi, then the maturity spoke about wouldn't be puberty, and it would be the allowance of marrying and consummating prepubescent girls.
Yeah, because like we've already established, puberty is when it's menstruating, right? It's even in the case of Aisha, it's proven that she was physically mature before but when the marriage was consummated. That literally, I think
Islamically physically mature.
No, like generally physically mature, because it wouldn't be like
Islamically physically mature because girls mature slower in the 7th century Arabia, and if 9-year-olds today are not physically mature in the sense that me or other Western doctors think about when they say mature, then it is Islamically. It is Islamically, as the Islamic standard of maturity is not puberty, it is not age, it is the size of the girl, the actual sheer size, which comes from, what hadith does that come from? It comes from 2 hadiths from Sunnah Ibn Majah and Sunnah Abu Dawood, where Aisha is, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the exact hadiths.
Yeah, I know. There's the one where she has dates and cucumbers, right? That one.
Yes, that's the one that shows when a woman is ready to consummate. It's not puberty. It's not age. It's not even. It's her ability to withstand the intercourse, which I don't want to sound like a pervert. This isn't my own opinion here, but Islamically, there are many 9-year-old girls in the present, and of course, if in the 7th century, that were considered able to handle intercourse.
Yeah, because the whole point is harm. If, logically speaking, it's not possible for a woman, for a 9-year-old who hasn't menstruated, for her, even if she was fat, she wouldn't be able to be like, there will be harm in that naturally, right?
Yeah,
Would you
what harm though?
disagree?
What harm?
Like normal, like harm, like hold on, let me try to pull this up real quick. Like, for
Because
example, even in like
all sexual intercourse for the first time, even with grown women, causes harm. So clearly the Islamic standard of harm isn't general harm. Would you agree?
the problem is the hymen is something that's inevitable. You like, for
Yeah.
example, you could be 90,
No, the hymen,
and not
it's
have
also not inevitable. There are women that don't break their hymen. There are women that
yeah,
don't have hymens. So it's not inevitable, but even if it doesn't
no,
break the hymen, it's sex for the first time. For even women that haven't had sex till they're 40 and they have it for the first time, it is discomforting and it can be harmful. It can cause pain. So the standard isn't just pain, is it?
no, because what I'm trying to say is, right, is that that hymen is something that will, like, in most cases, on average, right, 9 times out of 10, would you say the hymen is broken on the first time?
I wouldn't say 9 times. It's actually, I think it's like 60%.
Okay,
It's
okay,
pretty, it's pretty 50-50 almost. But again,
okay, go ahead.
there are other pains that come from just other than just the hymen. There are other pains from intercourse, like intercourse for a woman for the first time. It takes about like 2 or 3, 4 times for the woman to actually get used to it and understand what this is, so it doesn't harm them. So applying that to little girls, they would also still suffer the same pain that comes from intercourse for the first time. So it's not general pain. It's not just any oopsie or owie happening to them. It's clearly a specific type of harm.
Right, and what we're saying is that harm will naturally be, there's harm is naturally, right, you can't necessarily prevent that. What we're trying to
Yes.
say is that there are things that can prevent harm, right, number one. And what we're trying to say is that if there'd be harm that is not preventable, or harm that is reasonably foreseeable, you take steps to prevent that harm, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we're trying to say, that if hold on, if I think I have this thing about Anawi, which is it Anawi or is it hold on. Rawad al-Bain by Imam al-Nawawi, volume 7, page 121. I'm trying to, yeah, this is volume 7, page 261. It's not permissible for the husband to have intercourse with her until she becomes mature / ready, and if the husband said hand over the young or the sick woman and not the close relative until her pain goes away. Al-Baghawi said he is answered in the case of the sick woman but not the little girl, because the relatives are more deserving of custody and the mediator, that he is not answered in both cases, because if they have intercourse, they will be harmed, unlike the menstruating woman will not be harmed if she has intercourse, right? The harm of someone who has not reached physical maturity is different to the someone who has reached physical maturity, yes?
Yeah, and what is the harm that now we're speaking about? That's what I'm trying to get at here. What is that harm that now we speak? He's not speaking about any harm. He's not speaking about a general harm, because now he also says here that Aisha being married at 7 and 6. So he says in Sarah Muslim, the same source, page volume 9, page 206. 206. He says that Aisha being married at 7 or 6 and consummated at 9 is explicit affirmation of the permissibility of fathers marrying off their young prepubescent daughters without their consent. And basically he goes on to say that they're allowed to be sent off to their husbands for the wedding ceremony. And we both know what the wedding ceremony is.
Yeah.
And I also have other sources of him saying that prepubescent marriage, it's again in Sarah Muslim, volume 9. He says prepubescent marriage, the purpose of it is pleasure, to take pleasure in your wife. So if you're not taking pleasure in her, you do not have to financially sustain her. So he's not, what you just cited isn't him condemning prepubescent consummation. It's him putting guidelines to the prepubescent consummation.
Because what you're trying to say is, right, you're saying that harm normally isn't, because, okay, how do I explain this? I'm like on like 3 hours of sleep, so I'm a bit slow right now. Could you just repeat what you just said real quick?
Nawawi isn't condemning prepubescent consummation. He isn't outlawing it by saying that they will see harm. He is regulating it. He is giving a regulation as in the same Sarah Muslim compilation of commentaries. He says that the purpose of a prepubescent marriage is for the husband to take pleasure in the wife.
Yeah, but he
And
says
if they
that
are not taking pleasure, then you can withhold financial resources from them.
right. But if I can find this real quick. I'm so tired. He's cute. I can bring it. Oh wait, right. So you're saying that if he's saying he's giving guidelines, okay? Yeah, and I mean yes, he is. But once again, he's not saying that prepubescent maturity means okay, like the average 9-year-old today would not be valid for intercourse. The average 9-year-old today will not be valid for intercourse. What Al-Nawawi is saying, he's not saying that the average 9-year-old now, he's not saying that as someone who's like the average 9-year-old now would be able to naturally consummate marriage without harm in the first place. Because if the scenario you're probably thinking of in your head right now is someone who's like 54 now, right? We'll give the ages of the Prophet and Aisha, right? That obviously, because she hasn't physically matured, and she hasn't physically matured, and obviously he has, that leads to harm naturally, right? Would you disagree?
No, I wouldn't. But I could also even argue it could be someone at like my age, 20 years old, 18 years old, marrying a 9-year-old. And
Yeah, but the
me
point.
consummating that marriage would cause harm that isn't accounted for under Islamic law. Like basically my argument is that Islamic law doesn't account for all types of harm that is done onto prepubescent girls in consummating marriages with them. They do not account for all of it, and that's why they allow consummation with prepubescent girls. Because if they accounted for harm done, and that harm was just a general term for harm, then consummation with prepubescent girls would not be allowed because the risk wouldn't outweigh the risk would outweigh the reward.
Okay, so I think I'll repeat what Faris said, right? Faris said in your debate, he said that it's a what if scenario. He said that if
But
in the
I
hadith,
was gonna ask him. Where's the condemnation? Because he gave the analogy. He was giving the analogy of the watermelon adultery. Oh, if a man were to commit adultery, he should do it with a watermelon. But where I can find the condemnation of adultery, I can find the condemnation of cheating on your wife. But where's the condemnation of banging a prepubescent girl? Because you can't say it's a what if, and they're not supporting it or allowing it without the condemnation first.
wait, I think I have this somewhere. Wait, hold on, hold on. If it decides to load, it would be nice. Oh, actually, wait, I have it. Wait, it's right here. So, yeah. The issue is a man coerced a 4-year-old girl onto herself and had intercourse with her without right or suspicion. So he had sexual intercourse with her and he mixed his, with her, Then her father married her to him. What is the ruling on this? Our companion stated that if intercourse with a weak woman who cannot bear intercourse results in consummation and is intentional, then heavy blood money is required. Kitab al-Fatwa by Al-Nawawi, Shamal al-Sulf, right?
So statutory rape is just a fine?
It's also like, I think there's also said that he's put to death because obviously it's rape, obviously. But
No,
it's
because like if you cause a fistula in a woman, you don't get put to death. There isn't a single fatwa that says if you cause a fistula, which is rupturing of the parts, the two holes down there becoming one hole, you just maintain that woman. You're forced to maintain her for the rest of your life. There's no or the rest of her life. There is no death penalty for causing a fistula. Unless again, I may be mistaken, but I have not seen one ruling that says a fistula is punishable by death.
I saw one and I don't have it there because I don't know why it's restarting again. But in this one, he was put to death. I'm just showing you the fact that it's like condemned, but he was put to death after this, anyways. I think I saw another one. I didn't put it in here for some reason.
But again, like that's only when you consummate a marriage with a girl who is weak. There is no condemnation or there is no deterrence for consummating a marriage with a prepubescent girl that is strong. That's what I'm saying. So there cannot be a what if. Oh, what if you marry a prepubescent girl? Because it's not the same as the what if with the adultery and the watermelon, because there is explicit condemnation of adultery. There is no unequivocal, unambiguous condemnation of prepubescent marriage. And there is actually there's the quite opposite. Like now I'll bring it up again. Now we're saying that in the hadith of Aisha being married to the Prophet, consummated when she was 9, it is explicit affirmation of the fathers marrying off their prepubescent daughters without their consent. And he cites Aisha being sent off to the Prophet at 9. So also allowing for that consummation to be happening. And I can pull up other sources of Nawawi himself also saying that you can compel, once a girl reaches 9 years old, you can compel her to consummation. But honestly, this consummation talk, I'll let you respond and then I'll move on to the next topic.
Okay, so you said let's just go with the marriage one real quick. Nawawi writes, if the wife dislikes her husband because of his ugly appearance or bad companionship and she fears she will not fulfill his right, it's permissible to request a divorce on him on the condition of compensation. And Major Shar al-Mudad, volume 3, page 17. I'll put that up real quick, right? So what they're saying is, I think I have another thing as well. This is it Shafi. It's Maliki. Okay. Yeah. So they're saying is, do we allow the marriage before puberty, right? But if she becomes aware of it, I think I have this somewhere as well. I don't know where this is. That's Maliki. Okay. So I'll stick with the Shafi one first, right? So what they're saying is, we allow the marriage, so the father can marry off his daughter, because naturally a father will know best for his daughter, right? A father is assumed that a father will do what's best for his daughter, right?
Yeah, I'll grant that.
Yeah. So we're saying is, the father can marry off her daughter knowing what's best, and he keeps her in her custody until she's ready for the marriage. But if she dislikes her husband, or rejects the marriage when she attains maturity, when she attains puberty, then it's annulled. I think Ibn Taymiyyah also wrote something on this. Yeah. So this is Ibn Taymiyyah, who's Hanbali. He says, with regard to giving a woman in marriage when she is reluctant, this is contrary to the basic principles and common sense. Moreover, Allah Azza wa Jalla did not allow her guardian to force her into buying or renting without her permission, or to eat or drink or wear something that she does not want. So how can he force her into sleeping with someone and living with someone she does not want to sleep with, and living with someone she does not want to live with? Allah wants love and compassion between the spouses, and how can there be intent when she hates him and does not like him? What kind of love and compassion can be in that case, right? So when she reaches puberty, when she reaches like ableness in general, she has the right to annul that marriage. I think there was something.
So I still have an extreme issue with that. So you're saying that you can basically force a marriage and divorce onto your prepubescent daughter. That's kind of immoral. Divorce isn't just something that children should see before they even hit puberty. I don't see how that is again, I'm not debating the morality of it, but I'm just saying that's an issue here. Just because you can undo something that is done onto you, that doesn't take away from the negative effects of the initial issue. So like, just because, let's say I get married to a woman, and me as a grown man, I go through a divorce with this woman, that could still be very, very traumatic, and I could carry these negative feelings into my next relationship, and I'm a grown man. How do you think that would affect children who just reached the age of puberty? That would greatly affect them more. But Islam doesn't care about affecting young children.
Okay, but if let's say in that scenario, assuming that that's like someone who you've loved, right? You've loved her and you've divorced her, right? That will lead to trauma, obviously. But what they're saying is, if she doesn't like the husband, if she doesn't want the marriage in the first place, then I don't think
You
divorce
realize
is necessary.
that still
Go.
would have implications. Just because if you are forced to marry someone and you are forced to try to get closer with them, but then you just can't. You just hate this person. He's ugly, smelly, he's dirty. You want to divorce him, but you can't until one, you reach the age of puberty. So you're basically forced to try to actually get close to him while you're prepubescent, and that could affect that could do two things. That can either as a defense mechanism make you warm up to him and then therefore not get a divorce, or two, that you divorcing them, you being forced to even marry them in the first place, can still have implicit effects on your brain, on your psyche. All these reactions, all these things, they can't just be undone by divorce. Divorce isn't just an undo button. It still affects you emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, I think this is why like most of them say that even though it's permissible, they advise you not to do it. If I can find this real quick, they say that even though it's permissible, they generally advise against it because of what you're talking about, right? They allow it in that case, and they're saying that even if it has more implications, then yes, it has more implications, obviously.
Okay.
But what they're also saying is that even though it's allowed, they advise you against it, and that you should wait till maturity, you should wait till puberty in order for the marriage to be contracted, and for
That
maturity in order.
mature again, you're conflating puberty and maturity though, because like there aren't any scholars that really say you should wait till puberty. Because Safi and Nawawi, I'm trying to find the exact source, but now we said that you should only wait till puberty if there is nothing to be gained from the marriage. If there's no political gain, financial gain, there is nothing to gain from the marriage, then you should wait till puberty. He said that that is the opinion of Safi and his companions. And Safi and his companions felt that if there was something to gain, then you can marry them before puberty. So there isn't explicit condemnation of prepubescent marriage. There's only if it's useless, if it's pointless, you shouldn't do it. But that's even kind of more abhorrent because it's using prepubescent children as pawns.
Okay, wait, I have this here, right? Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn al-Hakim said, the most correct of his opinions, an orphan should not be married until she reaches puberty and is satisfied. It is not permissible for a guardian or sultan marrying a virgin orphan until she reaches puberty. Actually, wait, give me a second.
But who is that?
Um,
What school is he from?
Maliki, right? I'm sort of giving you, right? I'm just giving you some
again,
opinions.
I can find more statements. Like I can find more statements from scholars on the consensus of prepubescent marriage. Just give me a second.
Yeah,
I'll just have to search.
yeah, that's fine. But I think we also have to take into consider like Aisha. Like, I think even if to consider Aisha as al-Saghira, that she didn't menstruate, that people hold her to be prepubescent. I think if we can prove that it can happen with Aisha, I think naturally we can prove that it can happen in the very unlikely scenario, right? Would you disagree with that?
With that she hit puberty?
No, that she was mentally mature.
Well, again, I would agree she was mentally mature Islamically because the Islamic standard of mental maturity is different. And again, mental maturity is a spectrum. So like a 9-year-old, they would be mentally mature in the context of a 6-year-old. But in the context of consummation, I never think any 9-year-old would actually be mentally mature, especially if they haven't hit puberty.
Okay, so you said this, right? You said this, that I'd agree with fans that mental handling will be like wifely duty, that she'll be able to handle marriage and she'll be able to handle.
Yeah, like Islamically. I also said right underneath that none of these are my opinions. I'm not arguing my opinion. I'm arguing basically devil's advocate that yes, Islamically it'd be handling a man, and handling a man isn't too hard Islamically when you have 3 other women. And we also see that in the Sahih Hadith where Aisha is helped out with cooking. She's actually helped out with cooking, and she only really takes on like cleaning and other tasks. So the tasks can be mitigated between the 4 wives, meaning that the standard of wifehood is actually lower than a monogamous one, making it easier to marry children.
There's also this hadith, Samidi 38:3, where Abu Musa al-Ashari says, never was a hadith unclear to us, the companions of the Messenger of Allah, that we asked Aisha except we found some knowledge concerning with her. The hadith is Hassan. And just for reference, Abu Musa al-Ashari was said to be born around 602 CE, and Aisha was born around 613, 614. So I mean, Abu Musa al-Ashari was around 12 years old, 11 to 12 years older than Aisha, right? But I think what we're saying is that even that if we use Aisha as a standard, right? If we use Aisha standard, because bear in mind, she's teaching people far older than her. She was teaching people far older than her, even when she was 9 and when she was later. But what we're trying to say is that even if then there will be, there's sort of there's not really deterrence, but there's sort of guidelines and safeties as to where prepubescent marriage is allowed, and as to where the consummation is. Because if there'd be harm that is preventable, for example, the hymen is something that you can't necessarily prevent, and there's things that you can't, there's, like you said before, that it takes 4 to 5 times before a woman is used to intercourse to understand that her body understands what she's going through.
And that's why harm shouldn't be the standard. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Harm shouldn't be the standard. It should be age. Age should be the standard, due to the fact that people that are under a certain age don't even process or understand the ramifications of sex.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that that type of harm that happens is something that you can't necessarily prevent, right? You can't prevent that her body is going to learn to be able to handle intercourse, because for example, if she is physically mature and she hasn't menstruated, if she would be physically mature and that she would be like a woman in her stature, though she hasn't menstruated, what we're saying is that it's permissible to consummate with her, though there may be harm that we can't necessarily.
The physical maturity in her stature isn't, because when you say that, my mind literally just thought of an actual mature woman, a fully grown, like 18-year-old that hasn't had menarche, or a 17-year-old that hasn't had menarche. But that physical maturity isn't fully grown. It isn't being fully developed. It is the start of development, and it's being able to withstand sex. And the thing is that harm done during intercourse that is unavoidable. Wouldn't you agree that we shouldn't put children in scenarios that would harm them, even if that harm is unavoidable? Because the harm standard in Islam doesn't account for the unavoidable harm that comes from intercourse. So why are we putting prepubescent children in these harmful scenarios and not accounting for the harm?
Because we're saying that in order for that to be consummated, in order for that marriage to be intact, number one, she would have to be, and I've just stepped in mud, she would have to be like a woman in the sense that she would be physically mature like Aisha was. And she would have to be, for example, this is Sahih Muslim 892E. If I can, where's it? I'm trying to find where it is. Am I bugging? Am I tweaking? Hold on. Oh wait. Okay. This is not the hadith I want to show, but it says the same thing. It says Aisha said that he stood beside the Prophet, right, with him being face to face, with their face being parallel to one another. There's another hadith I'm supposed to show this that makes it more easier.
First, when was this hadith? When is this narration taking place? Because this could be when she's 16. This could be when she's 14. This could be at Kedar. This could be at the Battle of whatever, the Takabudu. It could be at all these different periods. And also, being tall does not equate to being wide. It does not equate to being mature. It does not equate to being fully grown. Especially if this person that you're saying is tall didn't have menarche, as menarche is the start of the birth canal widening and the birth in the hips widening to allow for pregnancy and easy childbirth. So it's very disingenuous to say that since she was as tall as the Prophet here, that now equates to her being fully grown, when there are children that grow first, that grow long ways first, and then they don't even develop puberty until much later, where they actually widen out. And I also have others. I got all my sources. It's like a good 12 sources from all the different schools of jurisprudence. I'll look at this Safi scholar, Ibn al-Mudhir. He says there is a consensus among the scholars that the father is allowed to contract a marriage for his prepubescent virgin daughter, and that contract is binding. And he says that this is the opinion of Malik al-Thurahi, I can't say, bin Saad. And he also says, he brings up al-Safi, Ahmed Isaac. Where's another? Yeah, so the two main scholars that he actually brings up are Maliki and Safi, agreeing that the prepubescent contract is binding. We also have, I'll pull up another, like, these guys are just kind of no names. I'll bring up Al-Qurtubi. He also says that if she is prepubescent, he can marry her off without her consent because she neither has permission nor consent, and there is no disagreement. An-Nawawi says the Muslims are unanimously agreed that they are permitted to marry off their young daughters. So there is a consensus that you are actually allowed to marry prepubescent girls.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing against that. We allow that, but I can. So this is the Malik. I think I brought this up before, but I'll bring it up again. So this is Kitab al-Kafi fi Fiqh Ahl al-Medina by Ibn Abdul Bar, Maliki, Volume 2, page 524. Muhammad bin Abdullah ibn al-Hakim said, the most correct of his opinion is that an orphan should not be married until she reaches puberty and she is satisfied, and is not permissible for guardian.
That's orphan. That's an orphan. Under Islam, don't run, because actually orphans under Islam, there's no orphanhood after puberty. There's no orphanhood after puberty. And the fact is that this is about orphans. The ruling on orphans and daughters and sons of actual Muslims is different. So that's a false equivalence.
I'm bugging, flipping out. I was up all night. Anyways, okay, this is Hanafi. You brought up a Maliki one, right?
Yeah, I brought up Maliki and Safi, that they agree that there's a consensus.
Yeah, so we allow the marriage. We just don't, like I said, we allow the marriage. But as I said before, I'll bring up Ibn Battal for the thing. So this is Ibn Battal Shar, Sahih Bukhari. The page, right, is not permitted for a husband to consummate the marriage except she's capable of the sexual affairs and she can afford a men's desires. The state of each woman differs from one another, and this is no matter according to capacity and endurance. And he said in this is page 100, volume 7, page 173, and on page 176 he said, the scholars have agreed it's permissible for the father to marry the young girls, even if they were in the cradle. But he further explains the majority view, but it's not agreed that it's permissible for the husband to take them into their house until they can safely handle intercourse and handle a man. So what they're saying is that we allow the marriage, but we're saying that it's not permissible for them to be cohabiting or for them to consummate the marriage until she'll be able to handle a man. She'll be mature enough.
Batal says in the same Sarah Sahih Muslim, but volume 7, page 247, he says that scholars like Al-Safi say that if she is approaching puberty and is bulky and is able to have sex with her husband, it is permissible to consummate the marriage. So Batal says, he quotes Safi to show that it is okay to have intercourse with big prepubescent girls before puberty. Batal says that, so he says that it is possible for girls to be physically capable before puberty. That's what Batal says. So to give context on what he says there.
Yeah, before she menstruates, she'll be physically mature. So so this is, you're saying the Shafi one, right? Or was this Maliki?
That was Batal, who is a Maliki, citing Safi, and he also cites Maliki. He says that Maliki says if she has not reached the age of 9 and she is able to have intercourse. So the Maliki, he says that Maliki says that she can be under the age of 9 and able to have intercourse.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree that a girl can be under 9 and physically capable to have intercourse?
in the is very unlikely. I mean, I doubt it could happen. But
But
they're saying like, go ahead, go ahead.
but can it happen though? Like just under Islamic law, is that a possibility?
Very unlikely. Very unlikely for
Okay.
it to happen. Yes, but
Okay,
I'd
but
say yes.
it is a possibility.
It is a very
So,
unlikely possibility.
but again, your scholars are saying it's a possibility, and they're saying it's a possibility in a time where girls matured like 0.6 times slower. Like they matured physically slower, and this isn't talking about mentally right now. This is strictly Batal is bringing up the physical aspect. So physically, a girl in the ninth century of wherever Batal lived, they would be able to consummate before the age of 9 because they would be physically mature. But the thing is that these girls matured slower. So today, girls who mature physically faster, they would actually be able to, according to Batal, if Batal was raised from the dead and saw a girl today, he would most likely deem them as permissible to consummate with, as they are maturing faster. They quite literally are more mature. They are more mature at the age of 8 today than they were at the age of 8 1,000 years ago.
Ibn Battal is based on that of Aisha. He's not okay. He's based on that of Aisha. This is Siyara Alim and Nabuwala. It's volume like 9, page 2010. Basically, Imam Shafi said that during his stay in Yemen, he came across many girls who had menstruated often, right? This is, I think, Shafi is less than 100 years after Hijri, right? And then Shafi also
Yeah.
says that, is this the same source? Yeah, so this is the same source where he says, during his stay in Sana'a, the city in Yemen, he saw a grandma who was 21 years old, who had menstruated at the age of 9, and she gave birth at the age of 10. So her daughter had her son at the age of 11, right? So Battle is basing this off the opinion of Aisha. He's not basing this off he's not based off the general like sort of he's not basing off the general girl of his time. He's basing off Aisha and that she was physically mature. He's saying that the Hanbali opinion is that I can bring up hold on, let me give a second. The Hanbali opinion is that at 9 they expect you to be mature. But they also say I'll bring
Yeah.
in
So okay, so they're basing off of Aisha.
yeah,
Girls in the time of Aisha matured slower than girls today.
I'm not saying I said before I said the first time that Aisha, we're not saying Aisha was the state of Aisha, the circumstances surrounding Aisha was different from the most girls. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was normal then. I disagree with Faris on this. I'm not saying the circumstances surrounding Aisha was normal then, and I'm not saying it's going to be normal now. Even though girls then matured faster. For example, I can bring in, this is Al-Mughni by Al-Quddama. This is volume 10, page 91, where he cites Al-Qahdi, and he says that if she's not fit for sexual intercourse, her family is not obligated to hand her over to him. Even if he mentions that he has a period and raised her and has someone to serve her, but he does not have the ability. They do not have the ability to have sex. This is what they're saying. Ibn Battal is saying
I'll give you
that
that, but again, I'll just for the time being, because I do want to switch over to actually like what can you do with your wife before they are able to consummate the marriage. Like what can I do with my wife if she is too small for if she's too small for intercourse? Is there anything I can do? Can I fondle her, for example?
if there would be harm, okay, let's say you marry someone who's like 9, 10, and you decide to you're a grown man with grown man hands. If you decide to fondle her, would there be harm in it? Oh, naturally.
No, I could just do it gently. And I can also cite a scholar that says there is no harm in adult men fondling children. So let me pull that up. I don't know if I have it screenshotted. I'm probably going to have to go to my doc quick. No harm fondling. Because this has been a widely discussed topic. It's actually, I don't know if it's a fatwa or if it's a fiqh book. I think it might be yeah, okay. Yeah, so like this fatwa from 2002, I can send you the link after in Discord. It says, if an adult man marries a young prepubescent girl, so if me, an adult man, marries a young prepubescent girl, it uses the word al-sagahira, he is allowed to pleasure himself with her by any means that pleasure is lawful. As for sexual intercourse is not allowed until she is able to handle sexual intercourse and not be harmed by engaging in it. So they're just worried about the harm in engaging in sexual intercourse. I can't harm her. I can be very gentle. I can be very soft with my hands and fondle this prepubescent girl. And we also have other fatwas, again, 2001 on Islam Web, that says it is lawful for an adult man to marry a prepubescent girl that has not attained puberty. The Prophet, over 50 years old, when he married Aisha at the age of 6 and entered upon her at 9. As mentioned in these two hadith books, and then they quote the hadiths, and then moreover, Allah says that 65 verse 4 is affirmation of this practice. And it says, if an adult man marries a prepubescent girl, he can enjoy her without any ramifications. So if an adult man, marries a prepubescent girl, I can enjoy her sexually without ramifications. As long as I don't penetrate her, I don't want to get the stream taken down, but I can do a lot of dastardly things. I can do a lot. As described in these fatwas.
Okay, so even if you were to be gentle, right? So even if you decide to fondle her, right? Even like most of them say that it's one that when she gets married, she doesn't cohabit with her husband. She doesn't cohabit with her husband, and that there's nothing between them that happens sexually until this is what they say, that it's preferable that you wait for her until that she's able to bear intercourse, that she would that you enjoy one another. But let's say that happens. Let's say that's what happens, right? I think it was a fatwa, or like there was Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyya or Imam Ahmed said that there was a situation where a husband like needed to, right? I'm not going to use words because I don't want to take stream saying that. You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he needed to do that, right? And his wife was a saghira, right? So they I think he was of similar age or something as well. But he needed to, and so he gave the permission in this case that since he needed to, he said it's permissible for her to fondle him in a way that it would help him get relief, right? Normally. So it allows fondling in certain cases where if there would be harm in it, it is impermissible. But generally speaking, cohabitation would be, and enjoying one another would be forbidden, would be disliked and disproved on until she'll be able to handle a man, until she'll be able to handle intercourse.
Yeah, but handling a man and handling intercourse are different. You can handle a man and not be able to handle intercourse, like if you mean handling a man in like the sense of like how wifely duties, but also again, like, do you not like, so you're saying that it is okay for adult men to fondle prepubescent girls under some circumstances?
And like that scenario I just gave, in that situation,
but like
it
that's
would
not
be allowed.
That's just one fatwa though. That's just one fatwa. Like
But you're saying you're saying in certain situations would it be allowed? I'm saying yes, in certain situations it would be allowed if there would not be harm in it.
Situations. No, but the harm so there would still be harm. It just wouldn't be Islamic harm, because the harm of putting your privates in between the thighs of a prepubescent girl until you climax is going to have a lot of psychological harm done to that woman. But that girl, because they're not a woman if they're prepubescent, that's going to do a lot of psychological harm, which isn't accounted for in Islam. That's what I'm trying to argue. Not all forms of harm are accounted for. That's why it allows things like fondling prepubescent girls by grown men.
Okay, so the scenario. Okay, so you know that the thigh scenario you gave, right? If I were to ask you this, because this is probably the most likely what is going to happen, because if he's 11 and he has his wet dream, so he'll be considered pubescent in Islam. and she's 10, and she's 10, but she hasn't menstruated, would you say that in that case of the thawing fatwa, would you think that would necessarily be wrong?
I wouldn't necessarily think that's wrong, but that's just one application of this fatwa. You can
Yeah.
also apply this fatwa as me, as a 20-year-old, fondling an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah, but there's the
So
problem.
I
Yeah, but
condemn
once
that
again,
fatwa. I condemn that fatwa for what it can be seen as and how it has clearly been applied. Because there's other fatwas that explicitly say that there is so this fatwa dated in, there's two fatwas, 2006 and 2002, that say that you cannot cause harm if by fondling. Fondling
can
does
you
not
can you
cause harm if they
can you bring
cannot
those
have intercourse.
can you bring those
Yeah,
fatwas real quick?
I'll
Just
pull
like
it up.
just
I'll send the link too. It's on Islam
yes.
Web. I gotta flip the camera. I don't know why it's not letting me go in there. Okay, I'll go to the...
Whoa, wrong way.
One second.
I think did you bring one of this with Faris? I think,
I
or
brought
is
one.
this
I brought one, but then I started looking at more. I only had one at that time.
because he was talking to me about this and he said that in that I think in one of those you were talking about, he said that it's talking about where both of them are non-baligh,
Yeah,
where they're
I
not
guess
both of
that
them are.
one was, but I didn't look at the question. I only looked at the fatwa, because on Islama Web it shows the question and then it shows the answer, and I only got the answer translated, so I didn't look at the question and who was asking it. But these are explicitly about an adult man and a prepubescent girl. I'll bring all of them up. Just give me a second. I'm actually being
Uh,
slow for some reason. I can't find it. Oh my god.
my hands are freezing.
Hey bro, consider yourself lucky. You ain't in Canada, bro. It's like minus 5. Okay, page 40. Okay, here's the page. Okay.
Oh, don't tell me my laptop's about to run out of charge. Oh, you're shitting me.
Why can't I flip this? Is that flipped? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I don't know if you can read that. It might be a bit crappy.
Can you put yourself on the big screen? I don't think I'm going to be using my big screen anymore
Okay.
because my laptop's about to die. Lovely.
This is crap.
Can you try like DM me the link on Insta? Try DM me the
Yeah,
link on
I'll just
Instagram.
honestly, I'll just DM you the link. Yeah, like right now, I'll just DM you the link. That'll probably be better.
Okay, then I'll just take a look at it. I think that's fair. My laptop's about to die, so this is going to be the last time I'm probably going to use it.
I'll send the links. Some of them are from the Shamali site. So like most of it's all in Arabic. But and even the titles of the fatwas are about enjoying, like a man enjoying, or a grown man enjoying his young wife. And the word again is used as sig here. Yeah, so I'll read off the one that I'm talking about. It says that there is nothing harmful with climaxing between the thighs of a sig here that is not capable of having intercourse and is harmed by intercourse. So it says that intercourse is harmful to this person, this small prepubescent girl, but the actual fondling, there's nothing harmful about that. And it says that is if the climaxing is not preceded by penetration. The scholars have indicated that in principle it is permissible for a man to enjoy his wife however he wishes, provided he does not cause her harm. So the scholars, they say there is no harm in fondling a secure girl, and they say that you can do anything with her as long as there is no harm. So that's them saying you can fondle.
Yeah, this okay. Let me look at the source because my laptop just died and I'm gonna have to like mute up. Give me a second.
Okay. Wait, let me get this one better. I think I miscopied one. Damn, this is slow. Oh yeah, I missent one of the sources by accident. I kind of sent two in one so that it didn't copy right. You see, that's the thing. But Saga here with the with the rose I sent. Bro, I'm not gonna buy a Bro, repent. Actually repent. Yeah, that was funny though. That was funny. Buy a rose. Buy a prepubescent girl with the rose I sent. Are they actually that cheap? Because like what a rose is like what, a couple cents? Like could I actually buy a prepubescent girl? You guys got me messed up, bro. I will admit, you Muslims got some. It depends on the race. Muslims have some of the best sense of humor. Like I have to admit that. You guys are pretty funny. Depends on the race. Like, you guys funny, bro. You guys funny. That's the least I can give you.
Okay, I'm just looking at the first fatwa you gave, and it's talking about something completely different.
Oh well, I just sent all the ones from that I had, but the actual one that I'm talking about is this one. I'll respond to it.
Okay, yeah, I've got it.
I don't know why I did that. I'll just copy. It's the last one that I sent. It's sending. Yeah, okay. It's not yet. I just seen that you said. Why is it taking so long to send? My stuff's so bad. Like the one above the one that says not found, because those two are the same. Yeah, so the one I just sent. Those two are the same, but just different sites. But I guess Islam a Web recently took one of them off. But yeah, so here it is on Somali. They have like the question. So like under the blue is the question, and then so on and so forth. Yeah, they're funny looking. You guys gotta chill. Yeah, so again, the one that I'm speaking about is saying that there is nothing harmful with climaxing between the saga here. And I can quickly just get another translation. Clearly I'm not where I can get one easily, but there's still the internet. My gosh. Boom. Gotta love that. So it says you mentioned that a husband may have intercourse with her, embrace her, kiss her, and climax between her. So that's the question. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can see this. It's backwards. But if you guys can read Arabic, you can just read this in English. Because this is now the Arabic way of reading things. So there is no harm in I'm not going to say that, between the thighs. This looks like Greek when it's backwards. It looks like Greek. Yeah, here it is, right on the screen. In some nice Koine Greek. Like, tell me that doesn't look like Greek. Like, I never realized how close, like, the English and Greek alphabet were until I put it backwards. Just send it in the chat. Just quote the hadith, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Are those two the same thing? Because you're bringing up Islam, and then are they the same thing?
What?
Because you just
Yeah,
showed
the one
Islam,
that was on, like, those
Islam.
are the same one, but I guess the one on Islam the web, I can't pull it up.
Okay, let me take a look at Islam.
This is Shamali. Or is this Islam web?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's Shamali. This one that I'm showing is from Shamali.ws. Yeah, like first, so here's the Arabic and the English, but the actual translation I got, it was from an actual Arabic speaker. He's not a Christian or a Muslim. He's just like, I'm pretty sure he's just a deist. He translated a couple fatwas that I got because I Google translated it, and then I don't fully trust Google Translate. So I always try to get a native Arabic speaker.
Can you send
the Islam is yeah, that one's not working. Like, that link's not sending. It says, like, not found.
Okay, so because so if I were to be, because I think this like the one, I think there's only one fatwa I've seen on this. It's the one fatwa I've like seen on this type of issue, right? So let's say if there would be harm in it, it would be rejected. Obviously, it would be if she would be harmed by it, it would be rejected. Secondly,
but it says
if they are married,
it says there is nothing harmful though. It says there is nothing harmful about the fondling.
Yeah, in talking about when she fondled her, it's also saying if there would be harm in it. They're talking about in that scenario, if she fondles, if she gets fondled and she's not harmed by the fondling, it would be impermissible. Number one, they're saying that if they fondle and she will not be harmed, it's permissible. But even then, they'd say that it's not permissible for them to do anything. They say it's better for them not to do anything until she's able to handle intercourse. Because even
the reason why, like, do you know the reason why that they prefer not to is so you don't become overcome with lustful thoughts and then penetrate her. It's not because, it's kind of messed up to kind of molest little girls. It's no. We shouldn't molest little girls because we might not be able to control ourselves and we might penetrate her. That's what it is.
No, it's because it's interesting. Even in Al-Mughni, Ibn al-Qudama says that she should not be handed over if she was menstruating, that she would be harmed if she'd be harmed by what's going on.
Yeah, that's fine. But the scholars say that there is nothing harmful about fondling girls who are harmed by intercourse. There's nothing harmful about that. It's not saying if she won't be harmed. It's saying there is. That's a matter of fact statement. It says there is nothing harmful with fondling. It doesn't say if there is no harm found in fondling your prepubescent wife. It says there is no harm in fondling them. So it's literally saying that you can do this. And cohabitation isn't the only way that this fondling can take place. Would you agree? Like, I could go over to the dad's house and fondle his daughter under his roof after he forced her to marry me.
Misyar is this like, if let's say you get married to someone, but she doesn't live with you straight away, she lives with like her parents or something. They say that this is disliked, but I don't think you would want to be fondling your wife in her parents' house. It's a bit weird.
Why not?
Well, yeah.
But like, I could though.
You could. I'm saying you could.
Okay, that's the issue. That's the issue. So, do you not see where most outsiders, because I'm not trying to make it to a philosophical debate, I'm not trying to turn it into a moral debate, but most outsiders looking in, see Muslims saying like, yeah, you could go over to your father-in-law's house and fondle his prepubescent daughter under his roof, and that would be halal certified. We all look at that like that's insane because that goes against natural law. Like having sexual relations with girls who cannot get pregnant contradicts natural law. That's a contradiction. Or even like fondling of people who can't get pregnant. All that is contradictions of just basic naturalist law. And as we've seen throughout thousands of years, this has never been allowed for a reason. But until Islam comes around, it has now been made lawful to fondle prepubescent girls in your father's house, so long as you don't feel uncomfortable.
So
Nothing about the prepubescent girl.
that so long as the harm is, so there's still the harm principle in place, right? Because because in you were saying that in that fatwa, I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's saying if she would be harmed by the fund, if she'd be harmed by
No, it's
what's
saying
going
there
on.
is no harm. It says there is no harm in it. It says there is nothing harmful about fondling them. That's what it says. There is nothing harmful. So it acknowledges the harm factor. It acknowledges the harm that is done during intercourse, and it says that there is nothing harmful about fondling your child bride. There's nothing harmful about that, and that proves that the Islamic scholars do not define harm in the same way that we do. This clearly shows that fondulation is not harmful under Islamic morality. Islamic law allows for the fondulation of prepubescent girls.
You can look at those real quick. Give me a second.
You're good.
And my hand decides to not work anymore. You know. Just a question: do you have access to the other fatwas? Because it says that they say they discussed it.
Yeah, which
Hello.
ones?
Fatwa.
About the adult men? I'll pull those up and I'll send them. Why is my stuff lagging? Adults. Oh, am I retarded? Okay. The one about adult men. Ooh, opening it. You think 11 sets? 11 sets is way too much, big fella. So I'm just responding to someone in the comments. 11 sets? That's kind of crazy. You just need 3 sets, probably 9 sets total. 6 to 9 sets. 3 sets of one exercise, 3 sets of another, then 3 sets of another exercise. 11, that's you're gonna tire yourself out, exhaust yourself. Oh, biceps and triceps. I thought you just meant, yeah, so like for each muscle group, do like, yeah, so like 12, probably 12 sets total. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, 11 sets is good. I was tripping. I jumped to conclusions, right? But yeah, I sent the one about the adult men.
Okay, I am so tired. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that one's actually about the adult men saying that, what does it exactly say? It says, if an adult man marries a young prepubescent girl, he is allowed to pleasure himself with her by any means of pleasure that is lawful. As for sexual intercourse is not allowed until she is able to handle it and not be harmed by it. So it's basically saying that fondulation does not harm women, but intercourse does, clearly showing that the harm that comes from intercourse is not the same harm of as normal things. And then that is backed up by the other fatwa that says there is nothing harmful about fondling children. So that's my issue here. I know Joe Dean, he's off right now. He's paused. So I'm just trying to say that is my issue. That is, I would need a substantial amount of evidence to change my whole perception of morality, that using kids for sexual pleasure is not moral. Like I would need the best evidence. I would need to see the moon split itself, not just a couple people saying it did. I would need to see the moon split itself. That's what I would need. And plus, Jesus. Yo, I hope all you guys having a blessed day. I've already been here for like 2 hours. I'm just idling in a parking lot. Yeah, but God bless you all. It's actually a cold day out here in Canada. I'm actually unsuspended today, so like probably in like an hour, like my DMs will come back on, because it's like it's at like 9:30. That's when I'm do a front double bicep. Oh my, that's kind of immodest. Front double bicep in my anime shirt. I can't even fit in frame.
Ichigo is a W. Anyways, you know the first fatwa you gave is
good protagonist. Yeah, which one? Oh, he's cutting out.
top of me right now, but I don't because it's dead. But yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. You kind of like cut out quick. So you're talking about the first one? I'm not going to hold no technical difficulties against him. I'd be having technical difficulties all the time. It took me like 30 minutes to get on the live stream today. I'm a bit slow up here.
Two fatwas that the first one you cited talks about fatwa 2049-6 and then fatwa 4071-5. Do you have that one?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just
right
taking a look at that.
Yeah, 2358 basically. No, that was dumb.
It's fatwa number 4071-5. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that one.
Yeah, I got them open.
Yeah, can you just send that real quick?
Research. Which one again?
Fatwa number 4071-5.
4070. Wait, what does it say? Like, what is it?
I
Like,
don't
what are
know
the
what.
content?
the first fatwa you gave, right, where it says there is no harm. It cites two fatwa. The first one first one you've already gave me. The second one is 4071-5. I just want to take a look at it.
Like the one that says there's no harm?
That's the first one you gave me where it says there is no harm. But I just want to take a look at the fatwa it's talking about. Because you gave me the first one it cites, man. I just want to take a look at the second one.
Like the one about adults?
I don't know what it says. It just says we've discussed this in fatwas number 20 something something and 70 something something something. I just want to take a look at that.
Damn, I think I might be stupid. So 40. Yeah, I'm just gonna search it up. Yo, my phone's so slow.
I think I'm gonna run out of data. Yeah.
I think I'm about to run out too. Honestly, are you free like another time? Because we can just like move on to the next topic. And yeah, because like I do not have the sources ready on this one, so like I don't want to just I don't want to just hold up here.
I have breaks next week, but I have exams. Let me take a look at my exam timetable and I'll get back to you. I'm free all of next week, but I have exams when I come back. But I'll check my timetable.
Well, yeah, like I'm usually free like Thursdays. Thursdays are pretty good for me because like I don't work until like nighttime. So like I'm free like all day.
Okay.
So wait, what was it again? 40?
40. So number 4071-5.
So 40, 21, 75?
4071-5.
Oh, 71.
40715.
40715. Yeah, no, I can't find this one. Honestly, we can just move on to the next topic. Like, do you want to discuss Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari 476?
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, it'd be so much better if my laptop didn't have the shittiest battery in the world. But I think next time we could. I mean, if we can find another day.
Yeah, we should do that next time so you can actually like charge your stuff up and have your sources. Okay. Because it wouldn't be fair. Because like I'd be the only one with sources. It wouldn't really be fair like that. So.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to discuss?
I mean,
anything else you want to discuss before we go?
I mean, I was planning to, but my laptop died. So
yeah, so like can't really do
I'm
much.
kind of disadvantaged. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just pick it up then another time. Like, just let me know when you got another break.
Yeah. Alright, I'll see you then. Safe.
Yeah, bye. Take care, man. God bless. Stay safe.
Okay.
So how you guys think? How you guys think of that? What do you guys think? Did I get any roses? You guys send me any money? I'm never debating again because you guys don't send me any money. You guys don't send me roses. Imagine if I was like that. Imagine if I was like that. Yeah, but you sent it. You sent me money so I could buy Saga Hears that are cheap. Cheap Saga Hears. You didn't even send me enough to buy the exotic ones. I want exotic Saga Hears. Yeah, you're broke. Then Then go outside and try to find some dollars right now. Chase a bag. Chase a bag. You know what 1 Timothy says about those who cannot provide for their family? You're worse than an infidel. Nah, God bless though. Bro, you can't buy a few Nigerian ones? I could buy a few Nigerian ones? Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I do not support I do not support any groups. Do you support my group though? Do you support my group? Honestly, you're funny, bro. I do not support any groups. You're funny. I'm gonna follow you back. Or follow you. Cause you actually funny, bro. You had me laughing. My group, beautiful people. That's my group. I already follow you. My group, what should my group be? Beautiful skinned people of Jesus Christ and his church. That's my group. But honestly, I'm gonna just get done with this soon. Move on from this. If you can, I don't know how I can. If you can make them laugh and giggle, I don't know how I'm gonna make them laugh and giggle. I think I'm not officially Orthodox myself yet. I haven't been baptized in any Orthodox church, but I do have a lot of respect for Orthodox theology, and I'm studying it more before I try to make any decisions. Because I don't think anyone should make any decisions. Yeah, God bless you. I do not support any groups. Take care. But yeah, I don't support any like just jumping into churches and getting baptized. Like say if I just jumped into like one time I just thought Catholicism was based, and then I went and got baptized without actually understanding the theology. I think that's a disservice to the church that you got baptized into, because you're not actually, just because you got like you're not actually like a believing theological member in that sense. So yeah, like I have been exploring different theologies, mostly, or I've been looking really into like Oriental right now, like Eastern, Ethiopian, Coptic. Really enjoy their stuff, but there's just some things that I don't agree with every church. So it's kind of hard to find the one true church. But I hope the Holy Spirit guides me and keeps giving me wisdom. That's what I pray for. But yeah, I'm probably gonna. That's where the Muslims get it from. They get it from them. They get it from them. Yo, I'm gonna have to have a word with some Ethiopians then. I'm gonna have to have a word with them. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get off now. Gotta go find something to eat, scavenge something together. But yeah, take care, guys. God bless. Pray today. Pray multiple times today. And remember, Jesus loves each and every one of you. He died for all of our sins, so we can all be in good graces with God and be reconciled to him. So God bless you all. And every day, strengthen your relationship with Christ and ask the Spirit to guide you to all truths so you can know the one true Father. Amen. Okay. God bless you all. Take care. We out. We out.